Be me, 5 years ago, 13-year-old Feminon. Live with dad in semi-nice apartments. Never really see much of the neighbors, besides the one next door, because his dog likes to play with mine at the dog park. Decide to get in better shape because of sports, and also because running is fun. Usually bring my dog with me, Pitbull mix, every other night. Everything's good until one night I go out around 7:30 per usual with my dog and bump into downstairs neighbor, creepy-ass 50-plus-year-old man, obese and wears glasses, classic sweaty pedo look. However, had seen him at church a few times before, so not really worried. Didn't know he was my neighbor though. He says hi and we do a little small talk until he asks me why I run. And staying fit, blah blah blah. But you're so pretty. You don't need to worry about that. Creepy, but more focused on starting my run since it was now 7:50 and I had homework. Run, go home, etc. Don't think about it for a couple of weeks until I bump into him again another night. Small talk again. This time he asks why I always bring my dog with me. Artard, so I answer, actually I don't bring her for the full run, only the first mile because she gets tired. End small talk and run. 2 days later I go out with dog to run. Run my first lap around apartments. Big apartments, so one lap was a half a mile. About mid through second lap, something catches my eye. Could have sworn I saw a greasy guy sitting in his truck near the dumpsters by the back of the apartments. Apartments were shaped like an oval. I lived in the top part of the oval, and the dumpsters were at the back. Weird. My stomach starts to hurt, and my skin gets goosebumps, so I decide to finish lap and do another one with my dog, just to be safe. Sure enough, when I loop back around, I very carefully look out of the corner of my eye and see him sitting in his truck with the lights off. Panic. Try to keep running like normal. Truck is getting closer. He drives up next to me and says he thought I only had my dog for the first mile. Literally about to shit myself. Say that she had more energy than usual today. He says he'd come say hi, but he's scared of her. Good, you creep.jpg. Say that's a shame and start running a little faster. He keeps up and asks if my dad is home. Lie and say yes. Dad usually worked late Wednesday and Friday, but I hoped Creep didn't know that. He says that's weird because he didn't see his car in its usual spot. Can't think of what to say, so I stay silent. I know you're all alone, Anon. Run as fast as I can to apartment. Luckily, dog senses my adrenaline and runs with me. Truck keeps up with me the whole time, but I'm almost home. Keep in mind, this is during the winter, so there was like no one out, and it was already dark despite it being 8 p.m. Make it to my building. Literally have never gone that fast up 2 flights of stairs before. Locked door, balcony, windows, etc. Neighbor starts pounding on my front door. Not entirely so I call the cops. I also hear that my neighbor stepped outside to see what was going on. 10 minutes later, the cops show up. I tell them what happened. Memory gets blurry here because I had a panic attack. All I remember is cops cuffing him and leading him out. I later see his apartment being cleared out. Years later, hear that upon investigation, police found his computer had some kitty prawn. No homemade, but still effing disgusting. Too long didn't read. Pedo neighbor ruins my workout plans. On a road trip with parents, probably middle school age. Driving through rural Oregon, basically all forest and mountains. No major towns along this route. In the back seat dozing off and not really paying attention to anything. Early evening, but it's still light out. Parents are talking quietly. Suddenly Dad goes, "Do you see that?" Mom says yes. She sounds confused. I wake up at this point and kind of sit forward to see what's going on. Dad, is he wearing a ghillie suit? Mom, no, I don't think so. Still can't see what they're pointing at. As the car gets closer, Dad slows down. We're barely going 25 now. They can't figure out what they're seeing. Then I see it. Someone is walking by the side of the road really slowly. They're taking these weird, almost loping steps. They're covered in some kind of wool or fur or something. Very dark brown, almost black. Realize that whoever it is, they're effing huge. My dad is tall, 6'4", and I knew this thing would be taller by at least 6 inches. We're almost beside it. Mom starts freaking out. Mom, speed up, go around it. Dad is in a trance or something. He can't stop looking at it. We're literally right behind it. Mom is practically crying. Everyone in the car looks out the window as we pull up beside it. It looks back at us. It is not a person. It has no face, just hair. In the middle of where its face should have been are these 2 tiny, beady black eyes. It looked right at me. It was predatory. It lunges at the car. Dad floors it. The thing doesn't chase us. It just goes right back to walking slowly along the road. Mom is crying and hitting my dad's arm and telling him he's an idiot for doing that. Dad is pale and won't even react. Pull off at the first motel we see. Spend the rest of the night not talking much. Definitely the weirdest thing we saw that trip. Two buddies and I decided to drive from northern/central Florida down to Key West for the weekend. Shit's nice. Longest drive, but it's okay. Spend weekend in Key West doing shit like fishing and chilling at the beach. Weekend ends. On drive back up. We're taking turns driving. Friend 1 is tired as shit, but took the first shift anyways. I take over driving when it gets dark. Friend 1 hops in back to catch some sleep, while friend 2 stays in passenger seat, driving for a few hours at night, and decide to pull over for some gas and food at a poorly lit gas station. Ask sleepy friend 1 if he wants anything. No response. Pass the F out.jpg. Alright, cool. Guard the car, sport. Get snacks. F yes, peach rings and an Arnold Palmer. Notice some dick put nails under my tires so that when I drove off it'd go into my tires. The F? The cashier didn't see. Neither did we. Place is lit like anyways. Remove it, bail. Head off back on the road. 5 minutes or so later, remember friend 1 is in back when he catches my eye in the rear view. Look back in rear view and see friend 1 put on his hoodie he had in the back with him. Closed up the hood part and moved over to the right side. So much for being asleep, moving around and the f*** do you think this is? Ask if he saw anyone with the car. He doesn't talk. He just nods no. Make snide comment about Sleeping Beauty. Should have came with us inside and got some deodorant. He smells like got him. We all smelled. We didn't shower that day after fishing. Driving down Sketches Road with woods on both sides a few minutes. Really dark now. See someone standing in the road. Move. Betamax. Friend 1 leans forward a little. Awake now? Swerve out of the way of them. They don't move. Suddenly, I can see people in the effing trees and foliage on both sides, like a frickin' ambush. Oh fuck, the hills have eyes. Effing gun it. Thank God I spotted the nails under the tires. Couldn't make out any of their faces, just their shapes. Too dark for my headlights. Hour or so goes by. Friend 2 and I are both freaking the F out, with only a few words spoken between each other. Friend 1 back asleep, not talking. We see another car drive by not long later, their lights on. As they pass, I look in my side mirror. Passing car shines through my side windows as it goes. In the side mirror, I see friend 1's face asleep up against the window on my left side directly behind me. Weren't you? Look in rear view. See he's still in the hoodie in the right seat. Nope. Slam on brakes. Start screaming. Friend 2. WTF, what? Then he looks back and makes the realization there's 2 people now in the back seat. Real friend 1 is actually finally awake now, dazed and confused. Hooded figure slams open the car door and sprints off into the woods. Hit the gas. All 3 of us screaming incoherently at each other. What the f? Friend 1 says he woke up when we were at the gas station, right after friend 2 got in the back with me and put on my hoodie next to me while you were still in the gas station. Someone had been in our car for the past 1 to 2 hours that we didn't know. I never saw Bro's hoodie ever again. We talk about how he almost got trapped and eaten by cannibals in Central Florida all the time. Try to make it into a joke. The humor helps, but that wasn't funny.